Okay, Jim, you're live.
All right.
I won't call that. You're ready.
All right, we got a meeting called to order here on Thursday, August the 20th, 2026 at 7 p.m. We'll have a prayer by Trustee Strange.
So stand, please. Our Father, we thank you for the day, Lord. We thank you for blessing our lives and for all that you do for us each and every day, Father. We pray for your strength and guidance in all that we do, Lord. We might be able to help the people of Harrison Township to have a better life, Lord, and a better way of living. We thank you, Father. We just pray for your guidance in all of it. In Jesus' name. Amen.
So I have a pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I declare we have a quorum.
All right, everybody got a chance to look at the agenda, any additions, deletions, correct? If not, someone make a motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor, aye? Okay, motion carried. Approval of the 16 July 26 regular meeting minutes. Everybody had a chance to look over those?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the minutes for 16 July. Do we have a second?
And I'll second.
We have a second, all in favor, aye? Okay, motion carried.
Well, financials, Indiana Trust, got a beginning balance of $901,867.67. Income earned, $2,776.34. We have a monthly ending balance of $904,644.01. We've earned interest income for the year to date, $17,811.91. The average yield on those funds for the month was 3.6193. If you go to the checking account, looks like we had a beginning balance of $82,066.06. We had some debits and credits come out with an ending balance of $46,608.22. We made a rate of 0.03% on that for the month. Interest paid this period $1.45. It looks like basic normal transactions going on in the checking account. And that would be it.
All right, any questions? Motion to approve the financial report.
I'll make a motion to approve the financial report.
Motion made, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Paul. All in favor? Aye. Okay, motion carried. Okay. Old business. They on the Oak Street restroom. They might remember by there today.
I did work on here.
Yeah.
They poured the foundation prior to today. Today, they laid blocks up on the foundation, they put footers. They laid the foundation today, the blocks, so they're moving right along.
The brick has been ordered now, and the frame, the window frames and all that have been approved and ordered as well.
I think we'll have a restroom before too long.
There was a question of whether that window should be vertical or horizontal, and we kept them the same way as we had everything. But they will be the same color for them as both the houses.
I need to ask her, but she called me yesterday, something you can do, guess they want to get you electric or something.
Yeah, there's a question as to who does that.
You had a question?
Whether we do that, Sherman does that, or the town does that. And Sherman is saying he thinks the town has to do that.
Have you got that paper?
I have the paper, but I need to know what is going to be the date that the service needs to be started. That I don't know, and you've got to have that date.
We fill out the paperwork to apply.
The town does. I've got it, so I've got to fill it out, so to let them know, because Ms. Sharman, somebody in that office sent it over for me to fill out as soon as possible, and I said, well, I don't know the date that that service needs to be turned on.
That would be good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they'll, I don't know. if they'll-
Well, I would have thought that she would have known that, though.
Charlie, you want to call?
I'll call Joe and we'll
Well,
get that started.
You would have thought, though, that she would have known that
I don't know.
from his office, so I don't know, but if somebody could let me know so I can pull it out and get it, the process going.
Probably contact them tomorrow.
Okay.
So the restroom is progressing very well. I don't know of any other old business. If I have any other old business, we need. New business. Public information inquiry. We have been tasked by someone in Oklahoma,
I think it's Nevada.
Nevada, for all of our public records to be made available. I thought that was a little bit hokey, so I didn't do anything with it. Then I got a second email saying you're past the due date. So I talked to Charlie about it. Charlie called the ITA, and apparently, a great number of townships throughout the state of Indiana have been contacted by this company or whatever it is, and
Julian Weingart.
out west to get copies of our information. Don't know what it's all about, but their advice to us was to tell them that they can have access to it through Gateway. Yeah, because of all of our, they don't want anything printed, they want digital documents. So,
There's 31 townships that have been, so far, have been approached with exactly the same thing. And basically, the ITA attorney is saying that typically, that this is pretty common for an individual who's trying to build a database to sell to other
it was, the company was something
Companies.
solutions.
Yeah.
So in addition to that, just prior to getting that email, I got an email from another individual with such and such solutions company saying that they would like to be able to help us with our public information releases, that they have been in contact with several counties or townships within the state of Indiana, and they are assisting with that, and that we have a set down to talk about funds charged for them to do that for us, to do that for us. I didn't answer that email. So somebody's out there trying to make money, selling.
Fishing is what it sounds like.
Yes. But state law requires that if somebody asks for
Open records.
open records, we gotta give them what they want.
We
Or
have,
make them available for them, so.
and we'll be doing that.
Through Gateway. Through Gateway.
But we Yeah, nothing is on paper, it's all going to be digital.
And do we still have to pay them a fee though?
No,
Consulting fee?
That was two different organizations. Either that or opposing two different organizations. Okay. Preparation for the adoption of the annual capital improvement plan.
just as a little bit of an explanation, like, I don't know if, we got a short fuse last year as far as we had to have a capital improvement plan in place to show what our plans were for using excess funds that we had, under our control. I gave you the report that we sent in, shows that we had about 900,000+ adjusted balances. And that because of our capital improvement plan, which is on the second page, we were establishing the fact that we wouldn't be transferring anything to the Harrison Township Road Improvement Fund. We had to establish a new fund in addition to the Township Fund and the Assistance Fund. We now have a Township Road Improvement Fund. We haven't put anything into that because on page 2 there, you see, we came up with close to $900,000 worth of expenditures that we were anticipating that we would be making within the next 3 years. Now, this is subject to several things. One thing, I mean, right off the bat, it's as you explore each of these and you find that one or more is not viable for whatever reason, somebody else is assuming the project is way more expensive than what was initially laid out, or the original people decide not to do the project. So SBOA is assuming that these things will change. In addition to that, believe it or not, this November, we're gonna have another election, and we'll have a new board and a new trustee. That board and that trustee may have different priorities over what this board and this trustee have. And so they're aware that there has to be some flexibility in how we change these. So we have to have these same papers filled out and submitted before the end of September. And so we'll have one more meeting. I'm bringing this to your attention to get you to start talking about where you want, whether you want to keep some of these in place, you want to remove these and put others in. And with the dynamics of all this are changing daily. I think most of you are aware that the County Council of Commissioners have decided to slash all the nonprofits by 20%. We see this as having a very big effect on what nonprofits come to us and ask for help, particularly in the way of homeless, shelters, food, utilities, all those entities that provide those services are going to be drastically impaired. So again, we're going to need to be ready.
Okay, I'd like to talk about some of these here real quick. All of these have not probably been talked about really recently. We've all talked about them before. It's such as the bottom down here, community center, emergency management conference center. we had talked about before we started the fire project down on Fairview Church Road. We had talked about trying to do a fire project in addition to an indoor gun range below ground with a community center above ground on top of that range. At the area between the bank and the jail. That was received real well until I think it was decided we can't do that by ourselves, because when we checked into the range, a 3 or 4 lane range, even a 2 lane range under that situation, would have been over $1 million, just the range, that was before anything on top of that. That just really equipment, let alone putting it underground, building the facility, set it in, and then setting our community center. It was even talked about with having that community center as a venue that could be rented out for different things going on through the county that individuals would want to do, so that we could recoup part of that money to help keep it managed and going. And then that became another issue is we got a fire training center there, and we got an indoor gun range for the sheriff's department, city police, state police, any police departments that wanted to use that, especially for inclement weather. Then who's going to staff that place? Who's going to pay for the upkeep of that place? Who's going to keep the supply? Those are going to be pretty substantial expenses as well. So that is probably what we were looking at on that bottom line down there, where it's $410,000.
And was that gonna be on Garvey Lane? You said in between the building that the.
They've done a commission on the corner of their commission way, runs outside the jail.
Okay, I mean, it would be in between where the.
Where all the REMC trucks are parked.
All those 3 German trucks are parked over at the jail.
Mhm.
That's right there.
Oh, okay. But the sheriff's department owns that front.
The county owns
So the
it.
county owns it?
That's the infamous Buck Mathis parking lot.
That's why they didn't pay it, is why they kept it gravel, I guess.
Okay, so that project is probably not going to be a go. In line with that, we built the fire training center down south. So I'm gonna offer another proposal to you to go away from that. Still, we could have a community center. That was a different building. That was a different location. I have been approached by the management of the next step. You know what that is? Everybody familiar with that? Okay. I went and visited the site today. They have been in charge of it for, I think, almost a year. The place is atrocious, it's about to fall down.
Who is the manager? You're talking about the 162 where.
Megan Stockdale.
Oh,
Up by the cemetery.
okay.
You're the one up past the new subway.
Yes, right behind you, go past, and so like that, yeah. They currently are serving, I think last month, 760 people. And they're doing that on a shoestring. They're not feeding anybody. They have different programs going on there through different grants they have gotten to just get started. They have a certified person up there that teaches a smoking cessation program, and they've had 9 people quit smoking. So I think that's a big deal. Their plans are to have a washer and dryer and a shower facility in there for homeless people to be able to use. They have plans to be able to cook, I think, if I'm not mistaken, a meal a day. So I think those programs could benefit, that can act as our community center. And when I talked to her today, she said that once that's up and rolling and good, that place could be, rented out and used for different venues such as a community center. So we can double up on ways to do that right in that same facility.
How big is the facility, the building, is how many square foot?
I don't know, it could probably, it's pretty size, I would say with tables and chairs, you probably say 100 people. But it needs, they had two fundraisers, I think. They had an estimate of $74,000, I think, to redo the inside, get the walls and the roof and the water leak stopped in it and everything just functional. Or just functional ain't gonna do anything.
That's break even point.
The kitchen is a mess. The refrigerator in there has been tore down, broken since 2017. That property started out as a VFW, I think, or American Legion, whichever one it was. American Legion back in 67, 68, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, no, that same building.
The property.
The property, yes.
Yeah. And then that building was built, but that building's been there for a long time. I think it's been a CO 501c3 since 86 or 87.
Somewhere back in the 80s, we had Marcella Jenkins' 80th birthday there.
All they said they had their graduation.
Yeah.
Prom thing, something, I don't know what it came up. Anyway.
How much we're looking at?
Well, I'm not sure yet. The kitchen is gonna have to be, it looks like the cabinets that are hanging in the kitchen look like they've been underneath the truck when they changed the oil. I mean, they can't even use the kitchen, period.
Are they wanting to keep the building itself?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is it worth
Yeah,
saving?
they have,
More safe?
Huh?
Is the building?
Well, that's kind of what I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
that's what they're putting money into right now. They get the water restocked and it's refurbed on the inside.
Who, at this point, who's actually helping them with the cops office?
The fundraisers, right now, the fundraisers that they did.
There's no county entity that helps out?
No.
Is there grants available?
They're working on trying to get grants. They're currently working with the Community Foundation. Let me finish this story. When they said that they needed that much money, they weren't, that was just to get them off of the ground. That was not anything including the kitchen, the cabinets, refrigerator, any of that stuff. They have had donations to build an office, and to refurb a building on the property, to make an office. It's very nice, it's completely finished. They're sitting in there, they have the computer set up, the internet set up, and they're functioning well in there, giving people applications, trying to get them help with different facilities around and things going on. So my thoughts were to give money to that program to rebuild the kitchen before they're there.
And that's gonna be a fairly substantial, because they're building a kitchen that'll have to pass all sorts of standards. I mean, we're talking lots of stainless steel, lots of, certain number of sinks.
Coming up to code.
Yeah.
Systems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank office.
Yeah.
Switch my kitchen, probably grease stars and.
Yeah, you'll have to have
Pressure
an
system.
rental system for your range.
That is gonna be a little bit of expense.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of expense. But since it can be used as basically a community center, and it's gonna be a shelter, it will be, they want to have a shelter in the future. They've got 3 acres of property. They want to build a shelter for homeless, especially when it gets cold or very hot. A lot of homeless people don't want to go somewhere and live. They just want someplace where it's really bad for them, too bad for them to be outside. They want to make that available. We don't have nothing.
Yeah. Basically, it's a white flag establishment. So when the weather gets
You're in
beyond
the
a
same
certain,
business as
you can go
we
to.
are, is helping the public's money, it's a let us help you help us scenario there.
I think that would give us an opportunity to help a great number of people. With not only meals when they get the kitchen done, and of course, the programs that are helping people when they come out of jail. They intend to have the food, they have the clothing, they trying to help people get established. So I would suggest that we kind of cross through one of these and write that in. For maybe starting a dual or triple purpose for that.
What are we looking at money-wise?
It's really hard to put a number on it yet, because, I'm sure there's gonna be all sorts of other assistance that's gonna be available to them. I mean, I can't believe that the Harrison County Community Foundation isn't gonna be a partner to something like that. I mean, they have traditionally, been on the forefront of working and establishing facilities like that, so I'm guessing that they would be a part, but we don't know. I mean, and in the past, of course, the county would have had a hand in that, but, this looks like that's gonna happen now,
I'm sure they don't know everything they need, but we can put a figure down and say, we'll go up to that.
Yes.
If everybody else chips in, we're gonna do this, if nobody don't,
Yeah.
we will go up.
Right.
That's fine.
I think that'd be a good way to go.
And just
And
take out this one.
I would ask that you not put a figure in there yet, and wait until our September meeting, and then maybe we can gather some more
When
information.
I talked to her today, I said, I would like to have an idea, rather than say, I want to give you a certain amount of money to redo your kitchen. And then that not be enough, or that would be too much. I said, I'd like to have some kind of figure available to make aware of that. So, that's what I'd like to do in that area. Now that
I just think between us, we might have a figure.
Yeah.
Nothing written, so.
Yeah.
So you're thinking then we ought to just do away with this community center, $410,000.
Yeah, I think we'll use that for that. And some other things too. I'm not done with the Genesis House or the Genesis House.
Yeah.
I have an opportunity to give some money to have a city parking lot available to people who want to use it, whenever they want to use it. And that's the parking lot by Genesis 3 building, which is just the other side, the old YMCA, when I first started, there used to be, called the basement. She said the estimate, that it's got some serious potholes and some stuff going on in there that need to be repaired. And she said that their estimate to get that done was $30,000. So I said, well, that falls right in line with us trying to provide more parking for the town. And she said that would be available, any parking space that was open was available for whoever wanted to use it. So I think that would be, they have refurbished that building completely because it was shot. It was probably about like the one out of the next step. And they're waiting on, who's the county building inspector?
Yeah.
That's it, Mr. Schroeder?
Mine's not here.
One of the things. Anyway, they're waiting on them to come out and approve the electrical. Once that's done, the drywall's ready to go up and get painted and finish that out. And that's, that project will be going. Now, the kicker to that one is they partnered with United Way. When I said it would be a United Way. The estimate to get that thing done was five.
Yeah.
They had to provide half the money. And she said they raised their $262,000. Took them a little bit to get it done, but they got it done. Well, when they went back to United Way to say, okay, we got our half, and we have been progressing, and we're spending our half, we need you to come through with your half. Well, it's been over a year. we're gonna have to start the process all over. And they said for the past 2 years, I believe, that every time she tries to submit something, it's, well, this T wasn't crossed and that I wasn't dotted. And she feels that they're reneging on the program, and now they're stuck with, they don't have money to finish the bill.
United Way Street.
The United Way is not going to help. So they're at $262,000 in the hole now. She has applied for assistance from Harrison County Community Foundation. And won't know if they'll accept her application until mid-September. So,
I think some conversation with United Way would be in order. I mean, we've got a Harrison County United Way. I don't know what they're doing about it. Metro United Way, and they're still giving out lots and lots of money. So,
yeah,
and
I don't understand what the problem is with this one, that they want to.
well, I guess I understand going from one funding year to another funding year. That part I get, but I don't get why all of a sudden you can't put it back on track if you've already approved it one time. Why you can't?
If they knew they had to raise 262,000, ain't something that usually you can just pull
Do
off
overnight.
in a week or two, you know, I mean, that's gonna be a.
So, there's that consideration for assistance there in the event that Community Foundation doesn't do it. And Megan Stockdale has even gone to the point of saying that she is so committed to completing the job that she was thinking about taking out a personal loan for herself to try to get it done. You can't do it. You cannot.
You've done a lot of good for,
So
it's a good situation.
that would be another way to help a lot of people. She does an excellent job. She has helped more women in this county.
Absolutely.
She's got women that have gone through that program that are now working for her on her staff. In fact, she's going to have one of those women full-time, working every day
Now, when they get in this,
out of the next step.
they're moving out of the old credit bureau across the street.
I don't know.
There was something in the paper.
Genesis House.
Okay, I thought that.
Is taking that building. The credit bureau,
Yeah, they're staying there.
I don't know.
No. The old credit bureau building, Genesis House now has that building. And they have people in there using it.
Right.
They're using it for
But are they
classes.
just renting it? I mean, I thought when they got this church building done, they was kind of out of the parking lot. That's the way I understood it.
I'll have to talk to her next week.
Yeah.
But I think they're keeping the house across the street.
Yeah,
Yes.
For
House
sure.
across the street is the first project. And then they're redoing the basement building.
So let me ask you on this parking lot. That parking lot might hold, what, 30 cars?
Oh, 30 years, okay.
So some of these people living there has a car to drive and the employees got cars
I
to
think
drive.
they will have, did she say they would have 6 beds? 6 beds for singles and maybe 4 beds for children. So they're not gonna have a lot of people living
You got a high street side where you can park your cars.
there. Yes.
I'm just saying, it's gonna be worthwhile on this parking lot, and we only end up giving the public 5 parking spots. Because Genesis House is taking up everything else.
yeah, I don't see that.
Probably not.
I think it'll be more valuable to us.
And typically, the clients that they have at those houses, I'd say half of them don't have vehicles anyway, so.
And you might get 3 of those cars.
Yeah.
I think Greg did up against the building on the outside, and I think there's a road right up the middle. So I know you can get more cars in there.
Yeah, they parked it, you know, before.
And I know they have, up behind the house, they have a couple of vans that they use to hold them back and forth. So all of them have vehicles, but those are some needs that they have. She said they would just appreciate anything, that we could do. And I know they would, and she is just working her tail off trying to make things happen. And she's a mover and shaker, and she's getting things done. She's helping a lot of people.
Or gas on the fire, I don't bring up the comment.
All I would ask is tonight that maybe that we can get a day or May, if we would like to help her with whatever she can come up with, to the extent that we can.
Did we want to give a dollar amount to it, the 262?
We can, well, that again, we can do that if Community Foundation doesn't come through, or if they can't get United Way to come through.
I think one of her most immediate needs though is $30,000 just to get the building
The parking lot.
to get the building where they can use it. I mean, so that they get the water issue solved and all that.
Yeah, the only other building.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. They said they had to get the building dry, usable. They had an estimate of $74,000 and they raised 46. So they need $29,000 for that. Finish that project up and make.
How much money they put in?
It was over 800,000.
It's sit there vacant for a long time.
And it says they're vacant, that's a year vacancy,
It's going to.
5 years worth of hard use. So I told her I would present that tonight, and we'll get back with her tomorrow and let her know.
So would
What the
this,
decisions were.
would this be replacing one of these curtain,
Well, I thought that we could probably,
extra community?
If we take out the community center, that takes out, three lines, takes out 20,000, 225,000, and 410,000.
Yeah.
So that's taken out about 650,000.
and I think the only thing currently right now that we are committed to, said we can do, and if they don't get back with us with something, I'm not opposed to saying, can't wait forever. The Friends of the Harris County Youth.
Yeah.
We told them that we would help them, and we've also told them that we'd like to see. They don't have a budget, they don't have a financial sheet, they don't have any accountability of the money that comes in there. They were supposed to be getting that all in line. They told us here in this room they were going to do that, and we have heard nothing. And I have a hard time giving money to somebody that we're not going to be able to see later on how it's spent. So,
Well, hopefully they're,
and I hope they're trying to make that work.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I got grandkids down there that are playing, and my kids played there, and that they serve a ton of people. And I think they do a lot of good there. So
Yeah.
I'd like to help them if we can, but it's one of those issues where they gotta help themselves with it too.
Yeah.
So. Other things that are on there, again, as Charlie said, that the county has, we just say cut 20% of most of the nonprofit organizations in the county.
Yes.
And the word that I heard, and I don't know, that somehow it was going to be a graduated thing, and over the next 3 years, they wouldn't be funding any nonprofits.
I think that was in the newspaper.
Was that in the paper?
They
Okay.
wrote that, yeah.
Okay, so, I went to a class down at Lifelong Learning. Charlie went down there too as well. I think they're doing great things down there. My wife put a lot of money into that down there, it's work one. And different training things and this and that. They're putting a lot of people out, making them available, making them ready to go get jobs. So I'm sure that they're gonna have needs. They're gonna have needs out in the future. So I think part of what we had planned up there was $100,000 for possibly giving to them for the needs that they're gonna have, because they're trying to expand their program to make even, to help more people, so. And what we're trying to do, I would rather see our money go to help people, whether it's a place to bathe, to wash your clothes, to get meals, to get training, so we can get a job. I would rather teach people how to fish than feed them a fish.
Bury themselves.
So I think all of these areas that we're talking about tonight can really help a lot of people. More so than writing individual checks to a lot of people. And that is a part of this trustee's business as well. And just for the fact that trying to help homeless, we have a lot of homeless people here that need help. And I would like to be able to see some of them get into a program where they can be taught to help themselves, as well as more so than just paying for a hotel overnight.
How many people at next step will they be able to have? Is that been determined? If they renovate next step and get it in working order according to the state and the county requirements, how many people will they be able to house?
They will only be, current situation, they would only be, like a white flag area where they would set up pots when somebody come in during extreme weather.
Do they have to get that approved through the state?
Pardon?
Do they have to get that approved by the state to have that kind of housing?
Right. But, I mean, that's just like the churches in town that do that too. They are planning, their long-range plan is to build a facility where they can house homeless people on a permanent basis. Right, rather, not setting up, not just an extreme cold weather, but someone that needs a place to stay, would have it. And we in Harrison County, we have nothing. I think the closest thing we have to it would be the Macy houses were for youth, women and families, and women and children, or families.
Yeah, that's like a 6-month thing.
Yeah,
It's more of a.
transitional.
Yeah.
Yes, because we have helped several people through the Macy house.
They can only keep
Yeah, work on things.
16 people total. It's not like
So,
a hotel.
Well, I personally would like to see us support the, get into the house to get that going again, and so being at the next step as well. And, if they need the $30,000, there begins in house to get that parking lot in order. Can we do that now and vote on that?
we can do that, yeah. And we can kind of say we'll give them the $30,000 now for the parking lot,
To get that
and
going?
we will wait for an answer on the kitchen, the project as well. Whether or not they're going to get their grant or things like that.
I would like to make that motion then to go ahead and do that now, since it's a need. And then let them proceed with showing us the documentation as far as what else is going to require and where we need to fit in that.
That's what Genesis has.
Excuse me?
Genesis has.
The
Genesis,
parking lot
parking
for
lot.
Genesis 3.
You said the next steps was 29,000.
I think next step would be 29,000 to meet the goal and make it dry.
That'd be a good thing to, that'd be a good thing to get that rolling too.
What was the
Cold weather's
74,000?
coming.
74,000 was the bid to do the project,
Total.
and they raised 46,000.
Oh, okay.
So, I'd like to make a motion too for that 29 for the next steps.
29 for the next step, completion project.
That's
As you know, but the completion project for the Genesis 3 and completion, or for the kitchen project on hold, we get more information about it.
So we've got two motions. Barbara's motion to provide $30,000 for the Genesis House parking lot. And that needs a second.
I'll second it.
Motion made, second, all in favor? Aye.
And then a motion from Tony to provide $29,000 to the next step to correct, water issues at that location.
I'll make a motion. Every day.
Okay?
Motion made by,
Tony and seconded by Jim.
yes.
All in favor? Got it.
I will contact her tomorrow and tell her to keep us abreast on what's going on with the United Way, the Community Foundation, and to get somebody out there to give an estimate of what's going to cost for the kitchen. And we will slide all of these things together in with whatever we got there, and that will be our capital improvement plan for the money that we have that we need to spend.
Now, that's gonna come out of this year's budget, is that right?
Pardon me?
Is this money gonna come out of this year's budget?
No, well,
This will,
these two months, we're okay with that.
the things that we put on the capital improvement plan are gonna be for calendar year 27, 28, 29.
Are we all done with that?
I think so.
Okay, general discussion on the budget for 27.
I included in your packet, kind of a remake of the budget that we talked about, last week. And you'll notice that, I increased the budget, particularly in some of the, areas like, shelter and some of those things in light of some of the changes going on. So that the budget as it stands now came out to a net zero increase over last year's. Now, in light of drastic cuts coming about from the council, do you want to increase that any?
Keeping in mind that we're only going to be allowed to keep 150% of our budget over our budget. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, that's all we can carry over. So the rest of the money, somebody wants to take it. So, just with the thought that gas is not getting cheaper, groceries is not getting cheaper, it's hard for me to realize that we're leaving our budget at zero balance, a zero increase.
I agree.
Okay.
I think we should increase.
So maybe
Do we want to increase that by a number figure or we're gonna have to increase it by line item probably.
yeah, but if you just give me a ballpark,
Yeah, we want to increase it by,
or 5% or
yeah.
anything, I can,
Keeping in mind the growth quotient this year, the government even though it's bad because the growth quotient is 6%.
So what is the total budget then?
150,000, 157,000. And you're really not talking the end of the world.
Yeah, you're not talking about money, that's
Yeah.
20% increase, you're not talking $40,000.
I think we should go at least 1%.
I
It
don't know,
doesn't mean we're gonna spend it, it just means it's there.
Yeah, and that's the issue we run into if we don't budget it, and we need it.
Yeah.
We gotta have additional appropriations.
that'd be another 30,000 into the budget.
You said 10, 30%?
20% would be $30,000.
Yeah, I think 30% sounds pretty good. I mean, 31,000 doesn't seem like that much for me. 7,000. So all the utilities are going up, water, gas,
That'd be about 45,000.
and that would still bring it under, 200,000, right?
Yes. Well, it'd be a little bit, I mean, I think you ought to probably keep it under 200,000.
Yeah.
What would 25%?
Would that still keep it under 200,000?
30% wouldn't.
25.
Yeah.
39,442.50.
30% would be 47,331.
That's 214, 204.
bring it out,
197,000?
Would be 25%.
Yeah,
That was just a little bit under 198,000.
yeah.
At 198,000, at 25%.
Now, there's another kind of wrench in the works here, maybe. We have a meeting with the State Board of Accounts on the 10th of September to go through our budget to see what they will approve. And I really don't anticipate any issues because of what our balances are, but I'm just saying that might be a possibility, because if we have a $197,000 budget, the township, you gotta remember, the township is only providing about half of that. The rest of it basically is, it's either gotta come out of interest plus out of our high. So, State Board of Accounts is gonna look at that and see how that shakes out. I don't know. I think we'll just have to wait and see what they,
Present it to them and see what they say.
yeah,
They might say that you need to cut your budget by 10,000 or 20,000.
exactly.
You're gonna see them before the next meeting, though, right?
Do what?
That meeting will be before the next.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have that answer.
It'll be on the 10th, and I think we're meeting on the 20th or something. Yeah. So I'll put that together.
the
So if you guys
25%.
split that out into the areas that need to be put under it. Go from there.
Yeah.
I mean, you will, if I know that, what our biggest expenditures are. And again, these people are coming up with new rules every day.
You're trying to buy it, so. Keep it straight. Here you go. Do we need to go on that then? On the 25%?
Do what?
Do we need to make a motion on the 25%?
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
You
So
guys-
it's whatever, I'm gonna bring, so at the next meeting is gonna be a public meeting in which we present whatever budget we're gonna end up with, we present that to the public at that time. So, I think the best thing is if we just kind of keep you informed after our meeting with SBOA, if they say cut it or whatever they say, I'll probably put that together for you, and maybe, we can kind of either, I can get that to you so that you have a chance to look at it before.
Email it to me for a chance to look at it, so we come together.
Yeah,
So when is the State Board of Accounts meeting?
10th of
September.
And you'll be the only one meeting there?
Yeah, Vi and I. Actually, she's the action person on all that.
Sounds good.
I mean, I can't tell you. I mean, if I'd have known what I know now,
Don't say it.
that this if this software package and what the state is requiring for us to just put monthly figures together, I think I would have ran in the opposite direction. I mean, it is crazy. And the rules change every time we turn around. Of course, the two biggest ones still under consideration, which we had a township talk about a week ago, is still the one big one, of course, we're still messing with is the merger of townships, and how if they have until the 1st of March to make volunteer mergers. So,
Okay, the time frame on that, they're gonna have it determined who's gonna need the merger by the end of the year, right?
yes,
And then they're gonna give an opportunity for you to I'll take you, if you wanna come with me or whatever, before the commissioners
Well-
assign whoever.
Well, the timeline is before the 1st of March, the townships can decide, hey, the two of us will get together and we'll do something. That'll buy them another year to see if they still can make it. After the 1st of March, the county commissioners have from the 1st of March to the 1st of August to convene all 12 trustees, and the county commissioners then will arbitrarily assign the mergers. So it will not be up to the individual trustees or the boards anymore. It'll be 100% up to the commissioners to show how those mergers will take place. And their only guidance is that probably three townships will need to merge, and they have to be contingent to each other.
That'd be next to.
And that's what's scaring us, because we've got 7 townships that border us. So out of the 11, 7 of them are eligible to be merged with Harrison County, which I ain't wild about, but that's just a possibility.
And they won't do over 3.
No, 3's the max. And number 2 is they just passed the House, the legislature just passed a law that fire districts now, that townships in each fire district are required to write a check to every volunteer fireman in that district for $500
A year.
every year, and every year from now on. $250 for their uniforms, $250 for their car. If there's 2 or 3 townships that go together to make a fire district, each one of those townships have to write the $500 check per volunteer fireman. And that's not and that was greatly debated, because the legislature said, no, they could share that, so that one fireman he only got $500. State Board of Accounts says, well, you didn't read your law very carefully, that the way the law is specified, every township has to, and that's going to be our opinion, that every township will have to fund that thing. So right now, that's the,
Unless they eliminate those townships and just say, you are now, you and you are now
one township.
tri-county township.
Yeah,
Rather than, you know, Harrison, Boone, Florida, whatever. But, yeah, they're just, it seems like they are just really, really trying hard on a daily basis to do everything they can to strip the bank accounts of every trustee in the state.
Yeah, it's all new territory, so.
And then you can't answer by those ones.
So what about some of these,
Nobody give you a definitive answer.
so what about some of these that have a small budget, but you got all these people on volunteer programs, you gotta write a $500 check to, where does it come from? They don't have it.
Well, I think that you go back, I mean, it's the same as,
Same if you run out of money for assistance, you go to the commissioners and say, you gotta give me money.
yeah. It's just like it is for the township trustee. I mean, Mark could go to the commissioners and say, hey, our assistance budget is 50,000 and you only give us 25, we want the other 25. And they would have to give it to him. But who wants to tackle that bear? I mean,
That would be a bear.
so that ain't gonna happen. But legally, that's the way the system works.
With statutory free, that's what.
Yeah. Yeah, if he doesn't have enough money, then It's a very simple process. It goes to the commission and say, hey, you gotta give me more money.
Simple like paper.
Yeah. Don't wanna go there.
Okay. Now that we've all been educated,
Yeah.
anybody else have anything for the good of the order? Do I hear a motion?
The motion,
Yeah, I make it,
make a motion
I'll second it.
to adjourn.
Motion made to adjourn by Jim, seconded by Tony, all in favor?
I
So
love it.
we're done.
All right.